Yo, this is your boy Trinidad James. You're listening to Alternative Trap. Turn up. Alternative Trap.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of the newest edition of Alternative Trap. Now, as a web show slash podcast coming soon on all streaming platforms. And today, for the first episode, we are joined by a very special guest, the legendary Mr. iLoveMakonnen. Makonnen, how you doing, man? So happy to have you on. It's great.
Thank you. I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. So before we get into the interview, I just want to say that it really is an honor to have you on. I started this radio show back when I was in college in 2017. And you were one of, it's called Alternative Trap, and you were one of three artists that really inspired me to start the show. I've been dying to have you on since. And the meaning of Alternative Trap is just kind of like it's just a word I would use to kind of describe, the new like eclectic wave, like more experimental out there trap that you really ushered in early 2014, the SoundCloud era. And yeah, I used to spend hours cleaning your songs to play them on the radio. So this is like a dream come true.
Oh, that's awesome. I appreciate you.
Yeah, of course, man. It's great. All right. So I figured we'd start out by talking about the new album, My Parade. Incredible album. I've been loving it. How have you been feeling about the reception? It's seeming like it's gotten a lot of good reception from both critics and fans alike,
Yeah, I mean, the reception is good. Everybody's been very positive. They've been liking it, enjoying it. The fans have been loving it. Music critics have been, kind to it. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So everything's been good. I've been really happy about it and just excited to, keep making music and having this stuff right here live on and start getting some videos out to start getting the visual to the idea from, making the audio. So I'm just excited with the future of what's happening on with it. But the response has been it's been very positive, and I'm very thankful because I feel like I was very not vulnerable but very open with my music and my craft on this project right here. It wasn't like staying to one certain market or one certain, sound or one lifestyle that I've, partaken in. So
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's been one of the biggest positive aspects of the project, across the board is just you kind of do a variety of different styles. You're not like, chained to any specific sound. You nail all of them, and it's really reminiscent of, a lot of your earlier work, the Drink More Water tapes and such, where you really come on, like your music is just so raw and powerful and emotional. And your music the past several years has been great, but like this really captures, like back in 2014, 2015, when I was first discovering your stuff, getting obsessed with it. And it just had this very raw, emotional, like sincere quality. It's kind of corny to say, but you can really tell when when an artist is really putting their heart and soul into it. Like you can hear the emotions in their voice, and you've always nailed that. And I really felt that with this album, and it was cool to hear, a blend of like some of your own old styles and like new type of sounds I haven't heard you tackled before. So yeah, no, is really great. And speaking of videos, I wanted to talk to you about that. I saw you tweet the other night about wanting a werewolf for your video in Portland.
yeah.
And yeah. What's the idea behind that?
Well, that's for I can see it in your eyes.
Okay.
And so, I'm going to be the vampire and somebody else will be the werewolf, but we'll be in our, normal setting, and we'll see what happens when the vampire and the werewolf meets. It's like, are they gonna fight or are they gonna fuck?
Yeah, that's an awesome concept. I love that. Yeah, what are some of the other concepts you're thinking of for videos? Because you mentioned you had a couple.
Yeah. Well, I want to get the people very involved in it, not just be me in every video. I want to have videos with the listener, the people who enjoy the music, who live the music, you know what I'm saying, as well. People who are actually like, I understand this, I live this music. I don't have the stage, you know what I'm saying, where I'm on stage doing the song, but it's like I pretty much perform perform at my job, whether if I'm, you know, a librarian or the rental car person, you know what I'm saying? It's like I have to perform at my job, and this music helps me to perform at my job to get myself going. So it's like, you know, I want to show those people who the music is, you know, made with in mind of, and let them star in the video and stuff, you know, because I feel like they, you know, they are who I make this for. And you know what I'm saying? If like, if I can connect with you, then it's like, you are the star. I am a star to you. You are a star to me. It's like we're understanding each other. It's not really for the whole world to praise uh, your whatever it is that you do. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm thankful for it. You're thankful for it. I'm saying it's for everybody else. That's all I can kind of say. It's not for everybody. It's for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? It's like I never was really trying to make music for the mainstream, but the other creeks and valleys around, you know, where those people live. Those are people who can kind of get my music, because I feel like as an artist, you know, my art, I want it to be able to live on longer than I am. You know what I'm saying? So I want it to be able to really to interact with people that are really going through things, rather than sort of like, you know, the current judges around that are saying, you're popular, this is great, we love this, we hate that. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's people out here who we don't even think about, you know what I'm saying, that listen to the music, that are going through real situations and emotions. And it's like the music is something powerful and very therapeutic like that, to where it can really help people, because I know it's helped me, you know. And so I just use it as also keeping that in mind, to know that the way certain songs changed my life, you know, as an artist, I can be making songs that can change other people's lives. And so I want to do that, and always think about those people, and not just, you know, the front row, you know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I totally get that. And, you know, as a diehard fan myself, your music really has connected with me in that way and helped me through times, whether it be, you know, relationship problems, love, like even just, you know, it really captures such great raw emotions. Like some of my best memories are partying with my friends to some of your classes, you know, Man of the Party, Swerve, you know, everything. You've got like Drink More Water 5 freestyle was a favorite. But like then you know, you covered the whole spectrum. You know, you really capture, you know, what it's like to be in heartbreak, what it's like to be in love. And I feel like that's the reason you've been able to maintain such a strong core fan base, is you really reach the people on that level. And
Yeah.
it's impressive, you know, in a current, you know, corporate industry that's, you know, often so manufactured and just not like, you are a rare exception. You are a real authentic artist that, you know, is kind of like a once in a generation thing. Like there's not many other artists I can think of that are as real as you. And, you know, it shows with the fans, because your fans all love you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's I can tell it's a real connection, you know, and I make my songs like that. You know what I'm saying? My sort of thinking and mind is a little alternative in itself, you know what I'm saying? Because I think of different alternative medicines, alternative thoughts, alternative energy to interact with what we're doing here at this time. And so, you know, it's like the power of the word and the message and of music and technology and all those things. Now it's like, you don't have to go to that city and get a ticket to hear this message from this person at the time. It's like now you can go on your phone at your leisure and hear messages, you know, however you want. And so with the access of being able to do that, it's like I know people, you know, all go through different things at different times, you know. And so, but so as the musician, I want to be able to put out many different styles at once, so that, you know, we can have a, you know, like a therapy session, you know what I'm saying?
For
Where we can
sure.
go through
For
all
sure.
the different emotions, where we can go through the sadness together, we can go through the happiness together, we can go through the lust, we can go through the love, we can go through the heartbreak, we can go through the acceptance, we can go through the rejection, you know, as a full scoped human, like as you know, you want to be able to hit on all these emotions, because that's what music does. And so I try to do that, and, you know, to be there with you from your highs and your lows, when you're the most popular or when you're the most bullied and the outcast. You know what I'm saying? It's like I want fans and people, listeners, definitely to understand that that thing inside of you has to remain with you no matter what. You know what I'm saying? So you have to always love yourself no matter what. When everybody says you're number one, or if everybody says you're trash, you know what I'm saying? You still have to love yourself, because if you start believing in, oh, they love me because I'm number one now, and now when they say I'm trash, I literally turn into nothing, because I've built my whole everything up off of people's, you know, sort of fake love to me. And so I have to build myself up off my own love first, and I can be able to accept when people show me love or when they show me hate. I'll be able to accept that as myself. And I feel like we're just not taught that as humans, especially in these younger generations. You know, we're sitting down with technology and music and movies and all this stuff, but I feel like we're not really elevating ourselves the way we should be with technology and all the things that are happening around us. So as an artist in these times, and I always look back at the artists of other times, like, you know, just times before the internet, before we've had, you know, the technology, cell phone, all that shit. It's like the people were really making the art for the people of that time, so that it can live on to where we hear about it now as we're growing up, when it's like, wow, we're in a whole new lifestyle. You know, we have electricity, running water, fucking they're delivering food, like, you know, it's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, being able to touch those people here in this time, hopefully it sparks, you know, the inspirations for others to start their own things, and their own things start changing the world, and we all start to, you know, just have more like creative and more like initiation and more initiative, and feel like we can do something, and we do offer something here on earth, because the technology and all these other things as well makes us start to feel like we're useless. You know?
For sure. For sure. And, you know, I think it's a really powerful message that you communicate with your music, just about self-love and not worrying about the approval of others. Because, you know, especially like you're talking about in today's day and age, all this technology, like the way, especially within the entertainment industry, it's so much of it is dependent on, you know, approval for others, for your self-esteem and your worth and clout and all that BS, and all that's here today and gone tomorrow. You know, what really sticks is the music with a powerful, real message. Even if people don't get it at first, that's the stuff that stands the test of time. And I really think, you know, deriving, you know, your self-esteem from yourself, and you're not worrying about others, it's really obviously a great message, and it's something that so many people struggle with. So I think it's awesome that you're trying to do that with your music, and I think you do a great job with that. Yeah. Yeah. And so sorry, back to the album. I just had a couple more questions on it, if it's cool. So I know that you recently went independent. I was and kind of, you know, what I was saying earlier about, you know, some of the tracks being reminiscent of some of your older sounds, and just it being all, you know, but kind of any genre you want to explore. You've got like My Parade, which sounds, you know, like a nice top 40, like, you know, almost indie pop, indie folk ballad. You've got, you know, your old piano ballads like Makonnen's Beethoven. You've got, you know, party bangers like More Bitches Than the Mayor and such. You know, it's all over the place. And I was just wondering about, you know, how being independent has impacted your creative process as an artist, and maybe what the creative process was going into this album.
Yeah. The creative process of being independent is just, you know, being free again, to not, you know, to hold to my mold. You know what I'm saying? I felt like when I was with OVO or Warner Brothers, I had to sort of play in that sort of, you know, arena of doing stuff that'll make that faction cool. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's like, it, you know, so it's like you have to do these type of records for these type of places. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm an artist, you know, not to say anything about those companies, but it's like, I am free to, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be a stormy day, and then I'm gonna be a sunny evening, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm gonna be a clear night. So, but you know, it's like, that's what is the beauty about me, that it's not, oh, we just love you for your sunny days. You know what I'm saying? Or we just love you because we, you know, we can get you on a moody night or something. And it's like, that's the thing for you. And it's like, no, I'm a living, breathing energy that is uncontained to where it needs to express in all different type of expressions and not try to market itself to one type of audience or whatever is the target audience. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have a target audience. I just make music for the world, and whoever connects to it connects to it. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like I'm facing over here, hey, all 27 to 38-year-olds that, you know, have a kid and, you know, struggling with fucking marijuana or alcoholism. I'm making music for you. It's like, no, I'm making music for everybody out. If that message connects to you, it connects to you. It could be a 3-year-old who's like, I can't hear that, drink more water. that means the world to me, right? And then there's like a 50-year-old person who's like, no, that if it's cool means the world to me. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, that's who I want to be able to hit us all. I want it to be able to be a family discussion. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel because of going through personal things in my life and my family. You know, I wanted to be able to have something that we all can talk about. You know what I'm saying? That where it's not sort of like, oh, get away from these people because of the, you know, how the family dynamic is. It's like, no, I want us to all be able to come around the Christmas tree and the fireplace and listen to I Love Makonnen album.
For sure. For sure. And, you know, I think that's the best kind of approach to music because, you know, so much of it's about marketing and reaching these markets these days, but that's really not synergistic with good, real music, you know, that stands the test of time. And, you know, like a stark difference of the new album, the past several years, I've loved all of your releases. You know, I thought the M3 EP was amazing, you know, Loser, that Love single with Ray Shremmerd, but there was in the real Makonnen was really in there, but there was something that was like some of them kind of felt overproduced to an extent. It's like trying to reach an audience that some of your releases under Warner that like I don't know, like for example, you know, Love was a song I absolutely loved. And I remember I had seen Ray Shremmerd in 2017 and they played that at their show. I think it was probably just more of a demo at a time. I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. Like this is one of the best Makonnen songs I've heard. And then when it came out, I loved it too, but it sounded like, you know, it wasn't the same as like, you know, as big, you know, studio drums and guitars and such. And just, you know, this new album really gets back to that raw, authentic, just pure real expression energy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly the truth. Because it's like with the Warner records and stuff, and you know, it just it's like we were trying to make a record so big that this is them. You know, not me. Because I feel like every record has the potential to become a big record. It's just, you know what I'm saying, who hears it. But they want to make sure like these things don't fail, try to think. And it's like that's what makes it fail. Because you guys are trying too hard to make it into like, yeah, it has to be a success because we have Travis Barker's drums and we have Ray Shremmerd here and we have Mike Will on the production. And it's like, you know, it has to work. And I was like telling them like, you know what I mean? It's cool and all, but I don't think it's going to work because, you know, this isn't me. I'm not that type of artist. So we don't know me as being the polished artist that's, you know, on fucking set, fucking rehearsing and doing all this stuff and then coming out with these big records, which had to go with a film or something like that. And, you know, it's like you're an industry artist. It's like Makonnen is really known from being like one of us fans in the fucking neighborhood that was doing his own fucking thing like we are and then got into, you know, the industry. But it's like he wasn't like, you know, that Hollywood
trying to make the next big hit or whatever.
Yeah, it's like, you know, that isn't what we liked about it. We weren't expecting him to give us the Hollywood records. We were expecting him to give us more back alley jams that went mainstream or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, no, let's take you off of the back alley jam circuit and put you mainstream. Now do that here. And it's like, you can't do that here, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like, you know, I'm not a label guy, but I really feel like their approach was wrong and really missed, you know, what is so appealing about you as an artist in just that, you know, You actually do. You have such a knack for writing great, catchy pop songs that could be huge, you know. And I think if they had, like, you know, they give you a little more artistic freedom, like if they let you, you know, go record My Parade and put it out, like so many songs on there, you know, could be promoted to be radio hits. It's a new sound. And, you know, when you were coming out, when you were blowing up with Tuesday, that wasn't crafted to, you know, be a radio hit. That instead, you know, it was a great song that reached everyone, and it kind of ushered in a new wave, you know. When
Yeah.
you're trying to chase trends, it doesn't work. And with you being, you know, such a pioneer in having these talents, it's just like, I don't know. It seems like it's kind of clueless to try to force you into doing this and that sound. It's just like, let Makonnen do his thing. And, you know, a lot of it's going to come out to be really great pop songs that anyone can connect with without you tampering. I mean, even in recent years, you know, you had some big radio hits just when, you know, the label used some of your stuff with Peep, you know, like the Sunlight on Your Skin and I've Been Waiting and that such. And it's like, so much of your catalog has potential for that. And it was really just a shame to me to see how it was mishandled. But, you know, I'm super happy for you, you know, that you're out of that situation, can now uh deliver, you know, all the great music. Cause, you know, I was listening to the album and I felt like I haven't heard this Makonnen since like maybe like 20 summer 2017, 2018, when you were dropping all those freestyles. Like I loved that shit. The Don't Be Hating on Makonnen. Yeah, I think you were dropping a freestyle every week for a summer. And you know, back on the Zan, like there's just so much, you know, awesome raw Makonnen that, you know, is back here. And speaking of those songs, you know, I've noticed in general, like you're kind of a notorious like song deleter, like going back. Like I have to find fan re-uploads of those songs to go back now, but I'm just kind of wondering why, because those were such great songs, you know. And
Yeah, well, you know, it's like you put the songs out and the fans like them, but I'm dealing with label politics at the same time.
oh yeah,
know? So it's like those are just sort of me being bad, trying to, you know, not destroy this relationship, but just let them know, like, yo, it don't matter. I can put it out, you can put it out. We're not going, it's not going to work for us. So it's like, we just need to separate. But meanwhile, it's like, I want my fans to know, like, yo, I could, you know what I'm saying? I do music now. I can get in here and drop some shit if y'all want some shit. It's like, I'm just tied up by the fucking ankle and the goddamn arm. So it's like, I can't give you what you want. But then at the same time, when I give you some of that, the other people out here copy that and then take that and then put that out on a bigger scale. And now it's like, here y'all go. Y'all got it on fucking Spotify after I gave it to you on SoundCloud. But they just came around and, you know what I'm saying, remixed it and add some whatever sauce on it. And now it's their thing. But it's like, y'all just saw me originate that. But it's like, because I'm tied up by the foot, I can't walk around my, you know what I'm saying? I can't walk my little original style around. It ends up getting bitten by the other acts out there. And now y'all got other acts that steady feeding and blowing up. And they're like, oh, this is lit. This reminds me of Makonnen. This is awesome. I'm wondering if Makonnen wrote that. It's like, no, Makonnen's chained up at the fucking label over here. Can't drop shit. So he's pissed off.
Yeah, absolutely. And that makes a lot of sense. And, you know, why it got deleted. But, you know, just again, you know, about like the label kind of mishandling, you know, a song like which you just freestyle, which is incredible, but a song like Don't Be Hating on Makonnen, I was like, this song could be all over the radio. This could be a top 5 hit. And what you're saying is 100% true. I think it's been a pattern throughout your career of people taking elements of your music, biting it and running with it and trying to make it like, oh, how can we form this to, you know, being more mainstream our style, but still take, you know, what the appealing aspects of, you know, Makonnen created is. And
rather than work with Makonnen and just appreciate his art and stuff as well. And, you know, we can all work with it. Instead, it's like, no, let me try to jack it and steal it and then act like, nah, I didn't just jack that from over there. And it's like, we know you did. We can tell you did.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, like I was saying earlier, I felt like, you know, back in 2014, I think you were the first artist I remember that built a huge SoundCloud following and then crossed the barrier to the mainstream. And then SoundCloud rap really like blew up after that following. But so many of the guys were coming out. I thought they were good, but it was like, this is just Makonnen. Like I remember when Lil Yachty first came out, a lot of his early records are great, but I when I first heard a song, I thought it was You maybe. And then like, you know, stuff. I'm not trying to put him on the burner, But like there was tons of other artists like that, and they were getting more recognition, you know. And
Yeah,
as a big fan, it
crazy.
really kind of upset me.
Same. It upset me too, but much love to them, you know what I'm saying? But it, you know, it's just crazy, you know, it's crazy. It's like, and it's no disrespect to them, but it's like, I remember when Lil Yachty was asking me to get on one night on the remix, and I heard it, and I was like, what? Like, you know, I can't get on this. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, people were like, it sound like you, it sound like you know, he sound like you and all that. And that's like, you know, I don't hear it, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, you know, it's cool. It's childlike, you know, whatever. And so a lot of people wanted me to like diss him and stuff. And I was like, you know, I don't want to be dissing people. You know what I'm saying? It's like I want to, you know what I'm saying? Like that's, you know what I mean? Like even if he was saying he was inspired by me, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
I was inspired by Makonnen. This inspired me. So it's like, yo, I'm not trying to come around on somebody who's saying they're inspired by me and be like, man, fuck you. You ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm gonna go down there to Atlanta and I want to meet Lil Yachty. And I met him and I was like, yo, we should just make some songs together. You know, woo. We made like a few songs together, like a few sessions. It was all cool. But then, you know, he started like, you know, going up. He pretty much got the Makonnen cosign now because we're making songs together and chilling. And now he's going up. And I was like, you know, let's put out our tape. And he was like, nah, I only want to put out like the hits or something. And so it's like, he didn't even, you know, it was just kind of like, okay, not okay. But now I'm seeing you sort of, you know, rise up and you killing it. Even though I don't feel like you beating me musically, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, you are
definitely not. Never.
With the all this and all that. And it's like, so I just came over here and sort of like said, it's okay for you to be, you know what I'm saying, not called a Makonnen protege or nothing, but you know what I'm saying? I'm just co-signing you to do your thing and showing you love when I could have been out here dissing you doing all this. And now that you know what I'm saying, we made music together, I pretty much came over here and like we had it looking like we about to make a whole tape. And now you getting all this popularity and you blowing up, and then you sort of like curve me. And then be like, and then it's like, what? And so it's like, all right, I'm not gonna sit up here and try to dish you or nothing like that. But you know, we you know what I'm saying? It's like I don't get everybody wants issues type thing, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm not out here trying to cause no issues with y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be a loving, sharing, caring person in my community and not be trying to cause beefs and stuff. Even with the Migos, you know what I'm saying? It's like when Offset and them was in jail, Rich the Kid was in jail at one time too. I kept them on my records when everybody else is telling you need to take them out, you need to not fuck with them, and and you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm coming over here to always show love, to support. Even when I got the so-called sauce, everybody's like, oh, Makonnen. I'm still helping everybody, as in like, I fuck with y'all. Y'all inspire me. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me show love to y'all. Then, you know what I'm saying? People start getting bigger and then they start acting funny and then start talking shit. And then it's like, yo, how y'all gonna sit up here and talk shit after I just came over here and showed love? But it's like, it is what it is. And then, you know, it's just a little hurtful to be from Atlanta to, you know what I'm saying, push the culture, the Atlanta wave as much as I did with love and intent, not a separation and like, oh, fuck these people and fuck the other people. It's only about these people. It's like, I'm trying to push everybody's shit to come together. And then now the bigger guys who come out of the city, they acted funny towards me after. It's like, I came and helped y'all. And it's like, y'all over here sort of like shading and dissing me, trying to say I'm not authentic. When it's like, what? And it's like, so you know what I'm saying? Like the Rolling Stone thing when the Migos came out and said like he could have been selling drugs, or whatever what was said back then. It was like, yo, what? How y'all gonna sit up here and try to, you know what I'm saying? Like act funny style on me after I done came over here, put y'all on the Whip It remix after everybody just said your shit was dead. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, well, y'all was in jail. I still showing love. Like, nah, put them on the thing, keep, you know, support the motherfuckers. And then it's like, y'all trying to like, it's just a lot of drama that's like, yo, this is unnecessary. This is unnecessary drama when we all here supposed to be doing music. And it's like, I'm not trying to be beefing with all of my peers in my community, but it's like, it's a lot of funny style shit that be happening. And so it's just, I don't know how I got off into all of that, but you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's just be on my mind. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And as a fan, as people that have seen Makonnen start from 2014 to all that, they would know exactly what I'm talking about. As in, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've seen the after effects when the Ugly God, the Lil Yachty, the Lil Pump, XXXTentacion, Lil Peep, all these other things came up after all that and was like showing love to Makonnen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we all inspired by Makonnen, whatever type of shit.
You paved the way for all of them, 100%.
Yeah. Juice
Yeah.
WRLD, so you know what I'm saying? Like, all of them could show love and they end up passing on. And now we got the older motherfuckers who was out here before I was out here acting funny and out here trying to, you know what I'm saying, throw shade and act like I just don't do what I do.
Yeah, it seems like there's all kinds of bullshit industry politics, and you just come across as a guy that's like too pure for the industry and all that horse shit. And you know, you really did, as I was saying, you paved the way for all those guys you just mentioned. And the thing is, though, that some of them, you know, they took your sound and ran with it, and then they kind of, you know, started beating whatever they were doing into the ground, trying to be more mainstream saturated. Well, like, your music has remained fresh and authentic throughout the entire time.
Well,
So
we just can go back to what we doing music for. You understand? Some people saw my style get famous and get sort of accepted and get recognition. So people thought that maybe I can imitate Makonnen style and get recognition as well. You know what I'm saying? So I can become famous. And so that's what a lot of people start doing. And you can hear it in their music to where it's like, okay, y'all all were inspired by this and all this, but like, where is your thing to keep it going? Because now you start just becoming a mainstream just meme. You know what I mean? And it's like, we haven't heard a song since that shit you was imitating Makonnen on that we enjoyed.
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, so what is we doing? It's like, I thought we was doing music. And it's like, a lot of people are trying to do fame and get recognition to stun on others and tell how great they are and how less fortunate everybody else is, when it's like, that ain't what we was here for. We was all here to do music. And when it comes to do music, most of y'all are failing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of the guys you just listed, like, really, their music hasn't stood out to me at all since back when they were ripping you off. And, you know, it was always inferior to your stuff, but it's like, you know,
it's no rip off, you know what I'm saying? We're inspired.
Oh yeah, I'm not trying to like throw shade on all those guys or anything, but just, you know, it's too bad to see some artists go down that path. And you know, the Migos thing, that did upset me when that come out, because especially, you know, like you were saying, when you put them on the Whip It remix, like, I remember they were hot like 2013, 14, but they were kind of falling off around that time. Like, you were hotter in the industry at that point, and you were kind of, you know, like helping them out. They put out like an album that year that didn't do that well, and but you kept putting on, and so just, you know,
put on, exactly. And it gets, not to cut you off, but it's like, a lot of time everybody try to forget that.
Yeah.
Forget that put on, that love that was really shown, that wasn't on no industry shit that Makonnen did. And look at the opportunity that y'all have gotten into after that. But imagine if Makonnen wasn't showing love like that, it would have been a whole sort of, you know what I'm saying, situation. But now it's like, you know, we all don't sort of know each other or talk to each other because it's you know, it's whatever. Everybody is living their life the way they live in it. And it's like, it's really lost its essence from the music. And as we can see, if facts show anything, the only reason why Makonnen know any of y'all is through the music. And the only time he ever came around to see any of y'all was to make music. So it's like, I wasn't here to make friendships or to make any of that stuff. We was here to make music so that everybody can further themselves however they needed to in their life, so that they can move on. So we didn't have to sell drugs, do X, Y, and Z. Now it's like we can make money and of a living off of music. But now it's like, we want to act like, you know, Makonnen just wasn't that motherfucker kicking that shit for us like that back in 2014. And I see this shit a lot, is that a lot of times they pull up these things and say, which album from 2014, you know, saying, do you remember, or which thing from 2014? And they always mention Fetty Wap, Bobby Shmurda, Young Thug, Lifestyle and all that, and Travis Scott maybe, or maybe like Wrld or some shit like that. But they
you
just
were bigger than him at that point.
Yeah, they just totally just ignore the whole Makonnen wave.
Yeah, no, that's one thing that's really upset me about some of the discourse of like these past 6 years of rap or so, is just how much you get left off. It's like, Makonnen started this stuff, and back then you were just as relevant to those guys. You not only had Tuesday, you know, you had Swerve, you had I Don't Sell Molly, you had I Like to, and then, like, you know, anyone that's a fan of me. Yeah. and anyone that's a fan of music, they went and checked out, they checked out your EP, they checked out Drink More Water 4 and 5, and there were so many hits. Like everyone was trying to get you on your record. I remember back then, you had attention, obviously, from Drake. Miley Cyrus had put you on, Travis Scott, Wiz Khalifa. Like, yep. You were really the hot sound, and it's just it's disappointing to see, some people kind of trying to write that out of history. But,
it seems to be like most people, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's a most people thing, to where it's the narrative is sort of becoming like all people are sort of accepting that. And it's like, how are we gonna sit up there and accept that? Like, we just all wasn't enjoying that shit like that. Like, we enjoyed all those other songs that summer, but we all know that Tuesday, the way that shit was going off, and the way that feeling, that connection of an internet artist and a mainstream artist such as Drake, a big artist like that, jumping on. It was like this bridging and sort of coming together of the whole sort of culture and people were outside celebrating, having fun. It wasn't no beefing and fighting, and we on some dumb shit. And so where it's like everything is going great. The fucking Fetty Wap My Way, all that shit, the fucking lifestyle, Rich Gang, like all that shit, to where we just enjoying the whole time at the club. You know what I'm saying? But that Tuesday song was like the main sort of thing that brought us all to the club, to where now we're enjoying all these other club moments inside of the club on a fucking Tuesday, which was not a normal thing, that wasn't even happening. You know what I'm saying? And then bringing in I Like To, from trap and fucking EDM, sort of bridging together again here, where it was like you two were strangers, but sort of neighbors sort of thing. And now the way that record's going off, and now fucking EDM and everything it's like the whole music culture is popping for everybody, all the alternative shit. And we just sitting up here acting like, no, we didn't. It's only just been, I don't know what it's been. But you know what I'm saying? We like, yeah, those different sounds that got clashed like that, the fucking I Like To shit, and fucking like, you know what I'm saying? It's like all these different records, to where it's like, wow, look at these fucking EDM artists working with trap artists. They fucking making house trap records. It's like, how is all this even happening? And it's like we forget about this moment in time of music, and we just try to focus now on, I don't even know what we're focusing on. But it's like, yo, did y'all not see the whole musical revolution that just happened, that we were all just a part of? Because it's like, I don't think y'all gonna ever see another times like that again, because it's like, you know what I mean? It's like everything's selling out. You know what I mean? It's like,
absolutely.
So it's like, that's going to be the times of those are going to be our 60s. You know what I'm saying? Our generation, that 2010s to 2020 with the 2014, all that shit. Those are our years of like, yeah, that was when we were young and fucking rock stars and killing it. Now it's like, okay, we older now, guys. So club is over, COVID's here, new fucking things is going on. It's 21 to 30 now. So it's 2020 to 30. Now it's like, what are we doing right now in this music age? What are we going to be talking about? What are we going to be on? Because it's like, I personally, the guy who made the club go up on a Tuesday, has said that he had to leave the club because now he's in his 30s and now he must go on to doing something else. So it's like, what are we going to do now in our era from 20s to 30s? Because we did the club era.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what you're saying, like, I already kind of look back on that era with nostalgia. I was much younger, and it's just like, wow, what a time. But like, again, just not to bring it back too much, but to your new album, like, I think you are one of the artists that's going to be able to stand the test of time and mature into this new decade. Your new album kind of proves that, because you aren't chasing trends, you're making real music, and there is an audience for that. And maybe everyone doesn't realize it right now, but it'll catch on. You have an undeniable knack and talent, and that's not going away anytime soon. But just in terms of it's especially egregious, leaving you out of that conversation of when this style was coming up, what I've labeled alternative trap with this show, because I feel like out of all those artists, you were probably the most original, most authentic. Not to shit on any of those guys, they were all great, but like, it was clear that, like, Fetty Wap blew up after you, and that kind of crooning over trap beats is really something that, like, you were the first person to do that. And someone like Fetty Wap expand the boundaries much. Not just him, you know, but like the next year after you blew up, Travis Scott blew up big, and like, you know, you could definitely tell that he's taken some influence from you, and like
Definitely.
Ray Shremmerd, like you know, they kept getting bigger, and you know, it just, you know, you could tell Sway Lee's vocal inflections, the whole style of it, it's inspired by you. And I'm not trying to shit on any of those guys.
No, we're not shitting on none of these
absolutely
guys.
not.
Like, let's just be honest about it.
For sure,
Like,
you know,
we all fans and lovers of all this music. It's like, let's just be honest though. It's like
absolutely.
if Allen Iverson came up with that crossover, and now somebody new is doing it. It's like, yeah, we can tell you got that crossover with Allen Iverson, but it's like, it's sweet on you. We love it, but it's like, we know who originated it. Don't try to act
absolutely
like that fucking move.
Like, yeah, no, I remember hearing. Yeah, I remember hearing White Iverson for the first time. It was just a SoundCloud track. I was like, man, this is Makonnen's impact. This shit would not be here without Makonnen. And you know, I think that's something, you know, I didn't even think about when coming up to it. Like, Post Malone's one of the biggest fucking stars in the world, and like, you know, his breakout single was something that was built off of a sound you really kind of pioneered and started. So, you know, it's amazing. And, you know, I hope at like widespread, you know, you will get the credit you deserve, because you deserve it. And like, industry people, you know, a lot of the journalists, they're beholden to big corporations and such. But, you know, I think you're diehard fans, and, you know, people like me, I'm trying to fight to get more of a voice in the industry. Like, we're not going to let people forget you, in like the impact you had, how you changed the music industry, what you created. But it's just, you know, it's tough what they do. You know, I've become disillusioned with a lot of the music industry because of the way they act. But yeah, you know, as I was saying earlier, you know, the real music will stand the test of time, and Makonnen shits, people are going to be playing, dancing at in their wedding, you know, 60, 70 years from now. So, you know,
I hope so. I hope to still be here to see it.
oh, absolutely, man. I hope so too. You know, I know I'm gonna introduce my kids, like, this guy's one of the fucking goats. Like, you're listening to Makonnen, and like so forth and so forth. Like, I can't imagine it dying. It's just too like real and powerful. And you know, getting back into, you know, I was kind of curious just about I know you've talked about your origin story a lot, but just developing, you know, your musical style. Like, I think it's everyone was all over this because it's such an incredible, unique story about what happened with, you know, being on house arrest and developing that sound over the years. And I was just kind of wondering, you know, I know you started off with your blog, which is awesome, and you kind of built relationships. You know, you interviewed Lil B, Soulja Boy. You know, I heard you met Adele on there, and I was sorry, what were you saying?
No, I was saying, yeah, through MySpace. We talked through MySpace, but
cool. Yeah, no, for sure. And I was kind of just wondering, you know, what inspired, when did you start making music, and what kind of like inspired you to get into that kind of creative outlet? Because I know you were also like a hairdresser for a while before you fully committed, and just, you were clearly, you know, you were a talented blogger, journalist, you had that whole thing. So I was just curious, you know, what made you put your all into that?
I don't know. I think I really saw it as becoming a way out of the, you know, the sort of like a way out of illegal hustling, you know? And it's like, I love to do it, you know what I mean? But I'm talking to the hustlers, you know what I mean? And it's like, I'm seeing certain hustlers become rappers, and how they making more now rapping than they was trapping. And so it's like, oh shit. Well, you know, I don't want to be, this shit is hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, most of all my friends have, you know, end up passed away from all that. And these were a lot of other people's dreams to be a rapper. I just wanted to be a producer and a songwriter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want to be on stage. I didn't want to be in front. I didn't want none of that. So I wanted to just be able to produce it, help songwrite, and, you know, y'all go on tour and do the whole thing. And so I just went forward for it, because it's like, you know, I mean, I've literally seen around my house in my neighborhood, for me recording people, to where all these guys end up dead now, to where it's like, I can just record myself now. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know anybody else to record because the streets are so bad. So it's like, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go try to find somebody else out there to come in here to record, and then they go back out there and end up, you know what I'm saying? Or it's like, I could stay in here and not be out there doing dumb shit while I'm already on house. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm
Yeah.
already here. So it's like, I just started to do it and started to, you know, express myself and just release a lot of my emotions that I was dealing with from all of that trauma, all of the things that I'm dealing with in my life. I put it out in music and then start putting it out on the internet, and then, you know, just started marketing it the way, you know, from what I learned from interviewing, you know, all the greats that I was interviewing at the time.
For sure.
And so
No,
and having the confidence, you know, just one thing I wanted to ask all of them is like, you know, how do you want to be remembered, or like, you know, what keeps you going? You know what I'm saying? So they all had, that was probably like where the time where everybody took a real time to answer that. And so I always got all these great different answers from all these different, you know, people I looked up to. So it definitely just sort of helped me to have that same sort of drive and motivation and, you know, stuff like that. It's crazy because it's crazy to see the times, because like I've seen even the people I interviewed from back then, some of them have passed on now, and it's like big news, you know what I mean? And it's like, wow, I remember, you know, interviewing when you were, you know what I mean, just starting out grinding, when like the world really wasn't even appreciating your sort of, you know, genius, and then you become even more successful, and then you live on, and then you end up passing away, and now the world is all reporting on you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. And just, you know, the way you did that, the way you built that up, it's such a constructive way to spend that kind of stuff. And it was really, it spoke to me. I'm sure it spoke to many others, but I was on house arrest around the time you were blowing up. And I remember as soon as I heard like I Don't Sell Mall, a couple of your other songs, I became obsessed, and I was reading into your story, and I was like, wow, that's so cool. Cause you know, house arrest is really like one of the shittiest things in the world. And to just take that shitty situation, you know, where you're so isolated from everyone and everything, and really making such a positive out of that, where you basically built a career during that, uh, was amazing to see. And it actually kind of reminded me about, you know, I was curious. So obviously we've dealt with COVID like this past year and a half, and there's been a lot of self quarantine. I know that's been super hard for everyone, obviously staying home. But I just thinking back to, you know, being on house arrest, it's like, not to like it's fucking quarantine fucking sucks, but house arrest is just another level where you really feel like you literally you I don't know how it was with your situation, but for me, like you couldn't even go on a walk down to the park or whatever. It's really isolated. So my question for you,
Yeah.
I was curious about, you know, uh if you saw any similarities between like your creative and recording process between when you were on house arrest versus, you know, this last year in quarantine making My Parade and stuff, you know, and um yeah, I don't know if there was any similarities or if it was just
Yeah.
like, you know.
No, there definitely was, you know, you can't go out, you can't do nothing. So you gotta do something other than sitting around talking about I can't go out, I can't do nothing, you know.
Exactly.
You start doing stuff. And I also started my other, you know, like spin-off of Martha that I've been working on, is Martha's World, you know.
Oh, I
Like,
I know about that. I got this
yeah,
sticker right here. Oh yeah.
yeah, awesome. Yeah, that's so good. Yeah, you know, Martha's World. So we've been making all those fun things like the car freshener there, the house stickers and all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was doing that during the last quarantine. I was like, yeah, this is just like house arrest. And in the meantime, I was trying to get off of Warner Brothers with the music, so I wasn't really focused too much on music.
Mm,
I wanted to go ahead and have another outlet, because music was definitely like my big outlet and therapy for dealing with everything I deal with. And then it's like I'm dealing with issues in music. Now I need to make another outlet to deal with those issues with music. So then I started doing Martha's World, and that's been able to help, you know, with therapy there and all that. And then
for sure.
I went back, and like September, I just got an Airbnb and brought up two producers, and we just made like the My Parade album in an Airbnb at a house, like just set up in the living room, a fireplace. Like you can hear on certain songs, like the fire crackling and stuff, like on scene and stuff. It's
Yeah,
like it's a fireplace right there with wood that's just like so, you know.
absolutely. No, that sounds like an awesome environment conducive to creativity and stuff. And
Yeah, that's how I always like to try to keep creativity fun. I don't like to be locked down in the studio trying to make some, you know what I mean? It's like, this isn't fun. It's like, it
mm,
has to be fun or else it's not going to be fun for the listener.
mm,
Okay, it's going to
yeah,
sound stale for the listener, and they don't want that. They want to be in their stale area and hear something was like, wow, this changed my whole perspective. I feel like I'm having fun.
yeah, yeah, no, exactly. And yeah, as I've said, you are one of the best at really creating and sticking true to that. And just I was curious, you were just saying, but during quarantine you were dealing with the label situation. Like, did you wait until you had gotten out of that deal to start with My Parade, or were you kind of working on it simultaneously?
Yeah, no, I waited all the way.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
can imagine that'd be a big
I,
stressor.
yeah, I can't even create. Like, I
Mm,
can't create nothing. It's like, I can't do nothing because it's
yeah.
like, it's a blockage on energy. I have to tap into the energies out in the world. And it's like on certain things, it's like, it's blockages there. And it's like, there's no sense of me putting all my force and my power into this when there's that blockage here for that. And so it's like, I have to patch that up, get rid of that. And then it's like, now I could do this and put the music out. And now it's like, it's out. And now I have to wait for the world to catch on, So it's like, you just have to keep moving, but it's like the blockage is gone. But there was a blockage there. So imagine the energy that I used to have connection to the world like that. And imagine if I dropped My Parade, something like that, then it's like the energy is right there straight to all the people, everybody can get it. But now it's like the whole thing has sort of been patched up to all my fans and all the people, the listeners, to where it's a blockage with the label and all this shit, to where it's like the energy ain't there. So I can't even hit you guys on the channel the way I need to. So I had to go rearrange it and get through a new channel. And now it's like, it's out. Now it's going to hit you. And it's like, it'll get to you when it gets to you. But it's like, it's fucking, it's not, they were trying to keep me on 3G, you know what I'm saying? Or dial up. And now I just got up to 5G now. So now it's like, once you get it, it's going to be like, oh shit. Once
Yeah,
most people hear My Parade, it's like, I got to listen to it again. Cause it's like,
100%.
what the fuck? This isn't no shit that I'm already accustomed to, It's like Super Chef is making a new dish and it's like, it's same flavors that you love, but just in new ways.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I imagine, the executives or whatever, after you got out of that, they hear the new album. It's like, oh, damn, we really
No, they
should have.
probably ain't even heard it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is a bunch of, a lot of big wig assholes and such. But, if there's, people there that really appreciate music and, they heard this, they probably like be kicking themselves like, damn, like, why didn't we give, like you were saying, you were on 3G, Makonnen's a 5G guy. Like, why didn't we give him a longer tether, to just do what he wants? Because that's really where the best stuff always comes from. Real good art that connects with people is never forced. It's an expression from the soul.
Exactly. But it's like most people there aren't even there for the music anymore. Like most people are just here to, get a check. You know what I mean? It's like,
absolutely.
I'm just trying to make a living. I don't give a damn about no good music. Who cares? That's what I noticed in there. Cause it's like, I'm at everybody's job. I'm a very hands-on person. You know what I'm saying? It's like, as the creator of the music, now I'm bringing it and I want to see who's going to tell me what it is with that. So I go up to the job, to the office, probably more than any other artist, you know what I'm saying? To where I don't even need a manager to go up there. I'm coming up there myself to talk to you guys because it's like, I know what this is. I know what we're supposed to be doing. We're in the business of making music and I make music and you're supposed to be in the business of helping me get it out. And when I go up there to talk to the people, it's like most of the people that are the big wigs are past champs who had successes at other places with other acts. And most of the new intern people there working are just like, I'm a college student, dude. I fucking got inspired to fucking hear music because I heard your music. And now I'm up here at the fucking job, you know what I'm saying, being an A&R. And it's like,
yeah.
Well, it's like, I appreciate that. But it's like, those aren't the people we need getting music out to the masses if we're supposed to be a label, you know what I'm saying? It's like, who's here trying to work on the current project? It's like, you're the boss because you did 5 years ago the biggest thing that happened. You know what I'm saying? So we're not even going to talk to you. And then it's like the people here now, it's like you got all these little interns that'll come up and tell you, yo, you should fucking check out this guy so-and-so. He's fucking popping. It's like, no, it's not 5 years ago, that thing I did. It's not that huge legacy act. So I don't want to hear it. But then after that, 8 months down the line, that little thing that little intern told you becomes the biggest thing in the fucking, you know, and it's like, oh shit, now everybody's like, that guy who told you the A&R, he's the new bigwig. And so now it's like, okay, you were hot 8 months ago, and now you're running around with, yeah, you remember 8 months ago you heard that? And so then the next guy who can come in and find another little thing, he can become a bigwig. It's more like you can become a big star just by, like a big executive, by saying who the next star is going to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, which,
you know, you can't make the next star. People aren't making the next stars. It's just like, yo, I see some kids right now out of Florida, they're fucking popping off. They're going to be the next big thing.
Yeah, it doesn't work to try to create it, you know, it's just about discovering that. And, you know, what you said right there really spoke to me because, you know, that was me back in the day. I'm 25 now, but 18, 19 going into college, I really wanted to work for the music industry. My dream was to be an A&R. And, you know, I kind of brushed with that. I had some internships, you know, I had friends there. And it just kind of like, it was like amazing how kind of for someone that loves and is passionate about music, it's amazing how soul crushing the industry is. It's not about, you know, finding, you know, the best, well, I mean, it is about finding great music that, you know, will be accessible to people, but it's not like it's not a great field for people that are really passionate and care about the stuff because it's all about what's going to make money. And yeah, it's just, you know, I've had some friends that have worked for labels, and it's just like they told me, you know, after a couple of years, I lost all my passion for music. I can't stand it. It's just so much corporate bullshit. And you know, what you're saying is so true about, you know, the A&R, they make one good discovery. Now they're the big wig. It's like, well, you know, that's not that great of a talent. I mean, I think it is important to have a good ear for music, but it's like at the end of the day, it's you didn't go and tell the artist, you know, this is how we're going to make a hit. We're creating it. You just discovered someone that was great and kind of got lucky in that area that you were able to sign them before others. But I don't know. It's just really shitty how it's not conducive to creativity or great music. It's just all about, you know, who's next up, who's the next up and coming guy. Like I love seeking out new music and checking new artists, but to have to do that kind of shit as a job is exhausting. Like I don't want to have to scrape through like every single new Lil rapper and see which one is like the best. So then we can, you know, come up with some big like stupid fucking corporatized like offer, you know, like trying to win them over. It's just, I don't know. Yeah. It's really shitty how tied the whole industry is to just making money and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I've got to leave here in a few seconds. If you want to maybe ask 2 more questions you may wanted to know or something.
Yeah, no, cool. I'm sorry. I didn't realize, you know, we were getting on.
I didn't realize either. I had another interview at 4:00 and
okay.
I've been running late all day. So
no, yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So yeah, I guess I had a couple, you know, if there's anything you don't want to talk about, that's cool with this stuff. But like,
I was want to know.
I was curious about, I mean, I think everyone knows about the OVO stuff that like you're not with OVO anymore, but like I remember there being one kind of crazy story about like OVO posse confronting you at the club. Did that ever happen?
No, it wasn't really OVO posse confronting me at the club. It was more like me and Drake had a face-to-face, and he was with his security, and he sort of, you know what I'm saying, was offended, you know, not in his best mood. And I was like, hey, you know, Drake, what's going on? And it was like, you know, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm not happy with you right now. So looking like, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, okay, well, I don't know what's going on. I'm just get up out of here because I haven't talked to you. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, I don't even, you know what I mean? I don't even know y'all like that, but you know, I can look back on it and maybe tell, you know, they was probably, you know, well, not even they, but maybe Drake was probably felt some type of way from a freestyle from on Tim Westwood and stuff, because you know, I was just rapping on a lot of Drake beats. I don't know why they did this at the time, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, you know, just going off. And you know, if people thought that everything was being directed towards Drake, and it's like, this is not at Drake, it just happens to be Makonnen on the Tim West was playing all the Drake beats right now, and I'm freestyling, and it's like I'm having, you know, a very emotional day myself here today. So, you know, it's like you're just getting a raw expression of emotion, and you know, it just got twisted and came off as very bad, like, you know, oh, you and Drake got beef, and you over here throwing shots and la 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 la, and you know, it's like me and Drake, we didn't talk, but of course, when if he hears all that and we see each other in the club or whatever, and it's like, you know, I'm mad at you because I heard whatever. And it's like, well, you know, we don't even, it's our first time seeing each other since whenever. But, you know, when we gonna have the chance to even talk that out? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it is what it is. Y'all here, it's, you know what I'm saying? It just, we be just catching each other at the wrong time.
Yeah.
You know, and so, you know, but from DMs and on Instagram, we don't really follow each other, nothing like that. But whenever we communicate, I send him, you know, messages of thanks or, you know, apologies, whatever. It's always love. And, you know, I think he definitely understands where I'm coming from. And, you know, so
For sure.
I would just always want to, like, you know, no matter, I always make it clear to him, like, no matter what you hear out here from the media and all that, because everybody's gonna use this to make it whatever the fuck, the juicy thing to get the clicks or whatever. It's like, that's not how I feel about you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm always forever thankful because you have changed my life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, no matter how many people try to turn it into, oh, you did this, you did this, it's like, to hear it from me, myself, as a person's life that you changed. I'm thankful that you changed my life. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you for all you did. It's very unfortunate. I apologize for, you know, the past things, the whatever mishaps we've had and any issues I've caused. It's like, these were none of my intentions. You know what I'm saying? If you know my story, it's like, I'm a kid from Atlanta, from house arrest, doing music. You're the biggest star in the world. Like, you know what I'm saying? To think of the, you know what I'm saying? Like, the thing, it's like, how can I really have an issue with you?
Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure. And
So,
how could he have an issue with you? You're like the nicest guy in the industry.
yeah, well, you know, I see how you can have an issue with me. You know what I'm saying? I've looked at it, and it's like, you know, a lot of that stuff academics put out. You know what I'm saying? He made a lot of videos. Yeah, he made a lot of videos about me at the time, and it's entertaining. You know, he's saying he was able to do his whole help build a following by causing a rift and a drift between Makonnen and Drake and OVO. And so, you know, he's got this video still up there of all the shit that he's, you know, said. And you know how he exactly, you know, he's fluff. So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
that's out to him
career
off of doing that. But it's like, you know what I'm saying? You could see Drake end up siding with that shit rather than hollering at a real motherfucker. So it's like, you know, I can't be mad at y'all. Y'all all successful in entertainment. So do what y'all do. I wish y'all all the best, you know? But it's like, I can see how it's like, look at academics. You up here, it's like, I can't, I'm just a different guy. I was on house arrest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wasn't sitting around playing keyboard thug.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's just, it's too bad that shit has such a like impact on the industry, because it's just so much fluff, like paparazzi, like below even TMZ level shit of just, you know, dick riding, trying to cause conflicts where there aren't, and it's just all about clickbait. It's not about, you know, the real music and culture. So, you know, it fucking sucks.
It's a shame that people in the industry take it so personally. You know what I'm saying? When it's like, musically, people have such great things together, a great relationship. But, you know, when personal shit, I guess, comes involved, then that's when things, but it's like, yo, personally, there's no issue between A and B. It's the friction in between A and B that's causing the issue, that makes it seem like A and B have an issue, when it's like, A and B really don't have an issue. Y'all heard when A and B came together, it didn't sound like they had an issue when the club was going up on motherfucking Tuesday and everybody was enjoying that shit. So it's like, what do you, how y'all got an issue? It's like, you know, I don't have an issue personally. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm always open to doing whatever, because I like making music, and that's how I met everybody, was by making music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's like a lot of bullshit theatrics, you know. People love cheap drama, but, you know, I think with someone like you know, there's only so much you can frame it as beef and such. When you speak about, you're such a positive guy, that's like, you can't make this big you know, make this big beef, create it, and like kind of expect it to go off. So but I don't know. It really is a shame that, you know, so much of the industry runs off these stupid little stories, and how there's so many fragile egos about one thing you say gets taken out of context, and, you know, someone gets really offended by that. And it's like, no, that's not what I meant. That's not what I said. You know, that's just like people trying to create something out of nothing. For sure. Yeah. I don't want to keep holding you for your other interview, man. But thank you. Thank you so much for, thank you so much for joining me today. As again,
No, of
such
course.
an honor.
Thank you.
You're one of my favorite artists of all time. So it's been amazing to get a chance to sit here and pick your brain.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, hopefully I can talk to you again another time, maybe an interview, but I don't know what you're open with, but
We
I
can
definitely
probably
had
get
some other
a part two
questions.
or something going on. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we'll set that up sometime soon.
Cool. All right. Well, yeah, once again, thank you so much for coming on the show. Hope you have a great day, man. Hope everything's well out in Portland, and keep killing it. You're amazing. You're one of the most talented people alive. So
I truly appreciate it.
yeah, for sure.
Thank you. You have a good one too.
Yeah, you too. Thanks.
All right, bye.
Alternative trap.